Hi, I'm Jane, and this video is going to be on things people waste money on. And why is that important? Why are we talking about what we waste money on? Because if we're wasting money on it, then we're not putting that money somewhere where it can help us, right? Help us in our journey to financial independence. And if we examine our lives, most of us, maybe not all of us, but most of us, I think we'll easily find things that we waste money on. And we don't even think about it, right? We either don't think about it because we grew up around it or doing it, these habits, or we don't think about it because it seems trivial. Like it seems like it's not enough money to care about. And maybe that's the case, right? A couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. But if you're someone who struggles, right, with having enough money at the end of the month to pay bills or to have enough money to invest, or just, life throws a curveball at you and then you're scrambling, right, to get together the money for whatever it is that you need, then maybe it's time to look at where these couple dollars here and there go every day or every week or every month, right? Most of these things I have done, okay? And I speak from firsthand experience. Some of these things I have observed other people doing. And you know what they say? Experience is when I have to go through something myself. And wisdom is when I watch or I read or, observe someone else doing something and I learn from it. So I'm not saying that you can't have anything, right? And you have to have a deprived life without your Starbucks or whatever. But I'm just saying to be self-aware of your spending habits, because that's what I really had to do, right? Be self-aware of my spending habits and where my money goes every single day. And it's not just doing it because it's just what you've always done. Okay. There are some things in life that you're not going to want to give up, and that's okay. But if you're mindlessly spending everywhere, then that's what I want to draw attention to, the mindless spending, just doing because it's habit. So if you stick around to the end, then I think you're going to hear the very last thing, something that we waste money on that you've never really heard before or thought of. So number one, bottled water. I know, individual or bulk. I don't know how old you are watching this video, but I was talking to my husband and we were talking about how growing up, we didn't buy bottled water. Mostly, I don't even remember seeing it anywhere, right? We drank from the tap and it was fine. Now, if your drinking water is unsafe, then obviously disregard this entire section, right? But I think most of us live in an area where we have clean drinking water. Bottled water is convenient. Yes, I get it. I was buying 2 cases a week. That was my average, right? 2 cases a week, that's 8 to 10 per month. That's 104 cases a year. That is $500 to $600 a year on water, which is completely free. They have done some crazy advertising over the years to get us to think that we need to pay for water. All right. Now, I do have a case of water in the house pretty much at all times, because if we have guests or visitors, I want to be able to offer them a bottle of water or something like that. But I probably buy 3 cases a year now, as opposed to 2 cases a week. And I know some of you are buying more than that. And in the same line of thinking, it's buying individual sodas at gas stations, right? And again, I get that it's convenient and that's why we do it. But think about it. If you go to the gas station 2 times a week, and maybe you're going less because of everything that's happening right now, but if you go 2 times a week and you buy a bag of chips or a donut or a cup of coffee or grab a drink, that's $5 or $10 in addition to the gas that you're getting every time you go to the gas station, right? So that's like $1,000 a year on soda and these individual serving sizes of chips, right? So I'm in my car a lot, and but now I have a gallon jug of water with me that I pour into my thermos, my cup, right? And I have and I used to drink a lot of soda. I did. I used to drink a lot of soda. And so I would also have a case of soda in my car too, okay? Don't judge me, all right? And I was trying to be healthier. So I thought, you know what? I'll scale back on the soda. And I remember talking to my brother and I was like, I only drink one Diet Coke a day. And my brother looked at me and he exclaimed, he was like, that's 365 sodas a year. And I was like, well, if you put it that way, it sounds like a lot, right? Like I was thinking I drink one Diet Coke a day. And so I started scaling it back to like half a soda a day to like every other day to I might have 2 or 3 sodas a year now, right? And that was just me trying to be healthier, and also soda's chemicals and, you know, it's also expensive too, right? So all of that. And you can easily flavor water at home with a lemon or a lime or mint leaves, right? If you get tired of water, because I get it, you know, it's water. Okay, number 2, all things bank related, all right? Now, I vividly remember NSF, seeing that go across my bank statement and thinking, what is this and what is happening, right? Insufficient funds fees, right? If you don't know what it is, God bless you, right? I'm so glad that you don't know what it is. But when we were broke, and I guess I should say beyond broke, because we also had $80,000 in credit card debt on top of being broke. I remember seeing, well, that was all from the real estate crash. I remember seeing NSF go across my bank statement and being like, what is this? And one of the main problems with seeing that first NSF line is that, you know, there's usually like multiple NSF lines, right? You usually don't have one. And it is seriously so expensive to be broke, having payments bounce, because you pay $35 because you don't have enough money in your account. Like the bank is charging you, and you try to debit $28 to buy something, groceries or whatever, and you don't have enough money. So then the bank charges you a $35 fee and you still owe the $28. Like what kind of messed up system is this, right? And we don't make the rules, but we do have to learn to live by them, right? So it's being really aware of how much you have in your account and not going over that, not even getting close to over that, right? Because you don't know if you don't remember a scheduled withdrawal or something like that. So it's, I know, easier said than done, but hopefully as we go through this wasting money video, then you'll find little things that you might be wasting money on, and you'll have more and more money in your account, so not have the NSF fees, right? And ATMs. I'm kind of old-fashioned. Like I really just don't like using ATMs in general. I either go into a bank to make a deposit or I use a credit card, right? I don't think I've ever actually used an ATM. I also find more security using a credit card than a debit card, right? But if you are paying a fee every single time you use an ATM, or I don't care if it's once a year that you're using an ATM, if it's 50 cents, if it's $3, you're paying to use your own money, right? And now with technology, we have Cash App, we have Venmo. I just can't imagine a time that you need to physically pull out cash for something if you have a debit or credit card, right? So it's just, be aware of that. You might by habit go to an ATM, but try not to. See what happens and see if you can save the money on those fees. So credit card interest, also super familiar with this, previously alluded to it. We pay thousands and thousands of dollars a year in credit card interest. And we were trying to pay down our debt. And I am very grateful to report that we don't have that anymore, and we pay off our balances every single month, right? I use credit cards now, not because I have to, but because I'm kind of a point junkie. And we'll make a fun video on how to get started using credit cards to travel for free and to do a bunch of stuff for free, which is great because now they're going to pay you instead of you paying them, right? But we pay off our balance every single month. There is not a penny of interest that accrues every single month or ever, right? Anymore. And if you're using the credit cards to get those perks and those travel perks, but you're paying interest, then you have really got to go back and look, because you're miscalculating how much you're getting in points versus how much you are paying in interest. So be careful that you're not falling prey to that. All right. So please, please, please pay off your balances. The average person in America pays $855 a year in credit card interest. And I have to imagine it's the average person, meaning one. And so if you're a married couple, like two in the house, then you're probably paying $1,600, $1,700 a year in interest. So that's not, you can't invest your way out. You can't save your way out of all that interest. All right. So number 3 is subscriptions, and that's subscriptions for everything that you don't use, right? Gyms, magazines, cable TV. Growing up, we did not have cable TV. My parents just didn't have it. We literally had basic television, not basic cable. And so I'm pretty sure we had 10 channels or something growing up. I am not that old, but yes, that's what we had. My parents just refused to have cable. And I remember going over to a friend's house and seeing 953 channels and being just in awe, but then scrolling through it and not wanting to watch anything that was on the 953 channels. Like, I thought, how is that possible, right? So do you still have cable TV? You should think about it, reassess, right? And think about if what you watch on cable TV actually is worth. The average person spends $200 a month on cable TV. And are you really at home at that scheduled time to watch that TV show, right? I think most of us now are streaming things, and we watch things when we want to watch them, and you're paying $10 or $6 for a subscription and not $200 a month for the subscription. So just, reassess. All because you've always had cable doesn't mean that you need to always have cable. All right. And the gym. Oh, the gym, right? I feel like we feel good because we sign up for a gym membership. Like, that's our first step towards progress. But if we don't go to the gym, then that's not steps towards progress, right? If you regularly go, then that's amazing. But if you sign up and you haven't gone in the past month, or you've only gone once, then you have to think what that gym membership is really costing you. And if you could just work out at home, right? My little cousin, who is he's not little anymore. He's taller than me, right? Like a good amount taller than me. But he went to college and he totally buffed out, right? Like he got buff, and he showed me a picture of his gym. So it's him and his roommate in an apartment, and he just had a bar, on the door, and he was doing like chin-ups and pull-ups and all this stuff. I think a chin-up and a pull-up might be the same thing, but he was doing things with the bar, right? And his own body weight, and that's all he was doing. Like, it was incredible. So I guess it's just, if you can kind of work out at home. If you live in an apartment, then they have tons of videos for like workouts in apartments, so you're not jumping and bouncing, and workouts without dumbbells, and you could use your own body weight to just kind of move, So I guess just think about if your gym membership is just costing you money, or if it's worth it. There's a difference in just costing you money and it being worth it because you're doing something with it, right? And magazine subscriptions. If you actually read them, then that's great, right? I think it's worth it if you actually read them. But if they're just coming in and they're piling up, then again, don't just do it mindlessly, right? Mindless spending. Just think about what you actually need. I'm not a minimalist, but if it's just taking up room and space, then it may not be something that's important to prioritize. Number 4, I am going to kind of clump all of these together, and this is keeping up with the Joneses, right? Buying stuff just to keep up. Because I have read that and heard, I can't tell you how many people say one of the brokest things is trying to look like you have money, but you're not actually wealthy, right? Who are we trying to impress? People we don't know, random people for the 2 seconds that they see us? That can't be. That can't, no. So it's not So it's going out and spending all this money on things before we have a handle on our finances, like having a $700 car note, $500, $1,000, and having credit card debt. Like, it's a recipe to stay in this rat race where you will forever just be worried and thinking and scrambling to get money. And that's not a good place, right? That's anxiety. So there's this quote, the poor keep score by cars and clothes. The middle class keep score by degrees and titles. The wealthy keep score by their bank accounts. And I read that and I was like, wow. Because I was told, go to college, get a good degree, right? Get a good job where your, name's on a plaque or something like that. And yeah, all that stuff is cool and everything, but that's how the middle class keeps score, right? But it doesn't necessarily do anything to your bank account just because you have that piece of paper that says you graduated from somewhere. My diploma from college is literally in a drawer in my bedroom at my parents' house. Okay. Like, that's where it is. I don't do anything with it. So it's not buying things just to keep up. And I guess a really big thing right now, especially, is upgrading your cell phone every single year or so, right? I get it. It's the new shiny thing, but do you really need that new phone every single year? And maybe you do. Again, I'm not here to tell you to live a deprived life. I'm just saying to think about it, right? Are you getting the phone just because? Because it's almost like we buy a new laptop every 12 to 18 months just because that's what our phones are. Like, they're little computers, right? And maybe normal people do, but I don't go and buy a new computer every 12 to 18 months, but that's kind of what we do when we upgrade our phones. So again, it's just thinking about it. And I totally get it that after about the 2-year mark, our phones kind of glitch, like telling us to get a new phone, but it's just thinking about, do I need this right now? And does it work fine for what I need it for? All right. Number 5, buying things for the sake of buying them. We are like hermit crabs, okay? And what I mean by that is hermit crabs find a little shell and then they grow into the space of the shell. And then they find another shell because they get too big and then they grow into the space of that shell, right? So we grow into our space, right? Then we rent space in other locations to store the stuff that we don't have space for. The most extreme example I have is I remember talking to someone and she was going through a lot of stuff to the point that she was living in her car. And I found out she was paying $100 a month for a storage unit. And I thought, what on earth do you have in this storage unit that you're paying $100 a month for and you are living in your car? And she said, I have a really nice bedroom set and I don't want to give it up. And I wanted to yell, oh my gosh, get rid of your bedroom set, right? You're living in your car and you're spending $100 a month on the storage unit. So I guess it's just thinking again, like where are our priorities and where's the money that we're spending actually going, right? And when it comes to buying things just for the sake of buying them when they're on sale, like buy 2, get 1 free. Like, do you really need 3 of those things, right? Would you just save the money by buying 1 instead of having 3? So it's just a matter of, all because it's on sale, would you have bought it anyways and it just happens to be on sale? Or are you buying it just because it's on sale? Because then you're just spending extra money and that's not good, right? The last thing, this is the bonus because you stuck around. Thank you. The last thing that people don't realize they're wasting money when it comes to it is taxes. I know, right? Do you know what your biggest expense in your entire life will be? Most people say their mortgage or their rent, and it's actually our taxes, right? So I know we have to pay taxes. That's a given, right? But if you work a regular job, you don't do any side hustle or anything like that, which would actually surprise me if you're watching this video. But if you just work a regular job, then I think you should pay someone at least one time to do your taxes just to make sure that you're not missing anything, right? And then after that, you want to TurboTax, H&R Block, and whatever, right? You want to do it yourself, then that's fine, But Our tax code is like thousands of pages long, and it's really complicated. So they do that on purpose so that way you have to pay somebody. But I think it's worth doing it at least once just to know if you are missing out on any deductions or anything like that that you could have. And if you do work a side hustle, or you have you're self-employed, then I think it's definitely worth it to pay a professional, because you might deduct things that you know of, but you're not going to know everything. I mean, I think it's really unlikely. We've been self-employed our entire lives, and we pay someone to do it, and I'm usually learning something new about our tax system and different things I can, and very importantly, cannot do when it comes to our taxes, right? And I want you to think about the tax refund differently. I think this is where you'll hear something different. People get so excited about getting their tax refund. They file in January just to get their refund instead of filing in April, right? They'll do it early because they want to get that check in the mail. Do you know what a tax refund really is? This check that they give you? A tax refund is really the IRS holding your money, right, throughout the whole year, interest-free, and then giving you back your money that you gave them in excess, and they're not going to give you any interest for it. Isn't that crazy? Like, we gave them too much money every pay period, and so they're just giving us our money back. And so when you think about it that way, I hope that you're not excited that you get a tax refund. I hope that you break even in April, or I hope that you might have to write a check for $100, right? And the reason why is because you're wasting money because opportunity cost. If you get back a check for $2,400, then that means that was $200 a month that you could have invested the entire year and earned money every single month on that money, as opposed to getting that one-time check. And odds are just higher that you probably would have invested that money every single month than if you get $2,400 and then you go buy the TV, or you go buy whatever that they're having on sale because they know people are getting their tax refund, right? So it's just a slightly different way of looking at your tax refund. It's a way to reframe it, right? So depending on what you spend money on, from just the short things in this video, that could be like $2,000 a year that you can save. Have in your bank account, apply to your investments. I hope that you try one or two of these things and have more to put towards your financial independence. If there's something big that you feel like I didn't include, that you do, or that you've learned that you do in being a little bit self-aware, then please put it in the comments below so that way we can all learn and grow together. Thank you so much.